Quarterback Jeff Sims, comfortable in his role as a leader. Steve Sipple, you spent a lot of time around Jeff Sims in Indianapolis, representing Nebraska. I thought Coach Rule had a really interesting take. Like, look, besides me, I know the guy everyone else is going to want to talk to every week is Jeff Sims. So that's why I brought him. He earned this opportunity. But I also understand, like, he's a big part of the story for this football team.
Sims was great. I mean, and I wondered how that would go because, you know, he's at a podium and there's 30, 40, maybe 30 people firing questions. He handled it perfectly. He did come off as a strong leader. I thought there was some very interesting moments, like what drives him. You know what he said, Sean? His family. You know what he said? He said, "My dad, they're hard workers." He said, "I come from a family of hard workers. My dad started a lawn company, and it's a thriving lawn company." That's what his dad.
And
does.
you can't take any days off mowing. I mean, in a lawn company. I mean,
right.
The grass doesn't stop growing when you go on vacation.
I thought that was excellent. He's a serious, obviously serious, but he doesn't overdo it. He's eloquent. He takes that leadership. Oh yeah, it was fascinating. Listen to him talk about how he had to learn names and how diligent he was, Sean, about learning everybody's name. And I said, well, why is that important? Well, it's sort of obvious, but he said, how can I lead a guy? How can I go up to a guy, Sean? How can I go up to a guy and ask him to do something and I don't know his name? I mean, it's common sense, but you know what he did? They, on their lockers, there's names, but there's also a photo. There's a name and a photo at their lockers. And he said, I had to go, there's times I had to go just study the names. Cause at first he said, I knew last names. But I had to learn first names and I had to get it down.
Think how hard that would be though, coming in.
Not easy.
He's got to lead a new building. And then you're expected to kind of run the show. And
you know what else he said? It was fascinating that goes along with that. And I'm going to write about this for Sunday. That goes along with the huddle. He said in the huddle, I got to know guys' names. I mean, and they're going to huddle a lot. Well, they're going to huddle. They're going to huddle, I think, every play. I mean, they're huddling. And he said, I like it. I like it because it's leadership. He goes, I get to look guys in the eye and say, hey, we're going to get this done. We got to get this done now. And there's a lot of that goes on. And that stuff was impressive to me.
I'd be curious to get some off the record takes from guys of just his approach as a new transfer quarterback compared to, say, Casey Thompson a year ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it'd be that much different. Casey was a good leader.
No, I just did. Casey know all the names? Did he study
I bet he did.
That kind of detail?
I bet he did.
I'd just be curious.
Oh, Sean, come on.
No,
Casey, you know Casey. I bet he knew names.
Casey is pretty detail oriented.
Yeah,
too.
he is.
I remember the first time I interviewed him, we talked just to prepare for the interview.
Oh, Casey, I guarantee you he learned names. That would shock me. But anyway, yeah, he was. Oh yeah, the other thing he talked about, he was asked about which receivers he kind of favors and kind of hesitated. He didn't want to go there, like most wouldn't. But then he did acknowledge Kemp, that they came in together. And hey, Sean, just like you've said a lot, they're going to Billy Kemp a lot.
Billy Kemp's the guy.
Yeah.
He's a proven number one level target that's going to get you 50, 60 catches probably.
I think you're right. And then the other thing he said that really opened my eyes, I think it struck a lot of people, was he was asked who the fastest receivers were. And he said Xavier Betts and Malachi Coleman. Now that's, Xavier goes probably 6'3" and 210, and Malachi's probably 6'6".
No, he's six. Malachi's 6'4.5".
6'4.5", probably
almost 6'5".
Well, probably close to 200.
He's over 2. I think he's probably close to 2 now.
He's looking pretty good. Those are 2 Nebraska kids. He said Xavier Betts, Jeff Sims said Xavier Betts is making plays that would make your jaw drop.
Don't you remember? Think about that Northwestern flip pass option play he got. Yeah. He went 85 yards on a defense that's geared to stop. Northwestern's defense under Pat Fitzgerald was not really it was built to not allow big plays.
Didn't he go do that against Penn State?
It was 40 some.
Okay.
Or 50 some, but that was the longest. When Xavier Betts has played football for Nebraska in 2020 and 2021. He's delivered the 2 longest plays, arguably, of both those seasons.
Yeah, I repeat, Sims said he's made some catches that are jaw-dropping. So that's a good sign. There's a lot. He said he clicked with Satterfield's offense instantly. He likes, he said something I loved about Rule, Jeff Sims. He said what he likes about Rule is that he comes off right away as being all business. And Rule, as you've seen, Rule, to me, what he does really well is shifts from topic to topic and situation to situation and adapts quickly. Doesn't take long to get going. Like, he just goes choom, choom, choom. Next topic, next situation, ready to go. And Sims appreciates that about him. It was, as you can tell, Sean, it was and we're going to be writing stuff. It was a very productive day. I mean, it really was. To me, it was fascinating.